The next day, while they were writing, Eragon asked Brom, "What is the sea like?" Book 1, Eragon. Chapter 23, A Song for the Road. And Chapter 24, A Taste of Terim. You're listening to Eragon and Back Again, the podcast where we explore Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle one chapter at a time. I'm Darien Smart.
And I'm Lucy Hart.
And I don't like this chapter, Liz. And that very long pause was because right before we started recording, you mentioned I actually like this chapter. And I'm like, oh no.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. I like it because of what... It's a little meaty. It's a little meaty.
I guess there's more meat on it than other really short chapters.
The short chapters. But like I'm like, I get it.
And saddle making, I guess.
Yes.
But before we get into any of that, Luce, do you have any sparks of inspiration or geode you'd like to share with the class?
Oh gosh. My brain flashed back to high school and I'm like, no, pull back from that. Absolutely not. It's not. So, okay. So I'll say this. It doesn't have anything to do with writing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it is. So I watch a streamer on very regularly. Mm-hmm. He's called DB Geek. Yep. I love him absolutely.
I'm familiar with his work. We do live together.
Yes. And he played. I found him in 2020 when he played Breath of the Wild for the first time, and that was his first Zelda game ever he played. And it was so entertaining watching him. Like it was so good watching him that the reason why I have a Twitch account is because of DB Geek. The reason why I'm on Twitter is because of DB Geek. Like,
yeah,
just
when a creator can make you sign up for other socials, that's high praise for their work.
And so
honestly,
I really, really like him because he's really genuine and just really fun. Like, there's always like whenever you're streaming, you have like
a persona.
Mm-hmm. You have like energy that maybe you might not project otherwise.
Yeah,
and it's like DB Geek. I don't think he has a different persona. He just is more energetic. He's
you have the performance
energetic.
energy.
Yeah, performance. That's the word. And so it's really, really cool. And so he played Breath of the Wild, and then he went back through and he played Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. He even dabbled a little bit in Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Like he kind of dabbled in there. And then I even think his girlfriend, fiance played Link's Awakening, the remake. And so he was like kind of with her in that. So he's become a huge fan of the Zelda series.
That's
and
good.
I am also a very, very huge fan of the Zelda series. I've talked about it before. Mm-hmm. I love it. And so watching my love of the series portrayed in him is just like really gratifying. Mm-hmm. But like my inspiration from him is he's been recently going through Tears of the Kingdom, and he waited like 3 or 4 months after it came out so all of his watchers or anyone else could play the game without spoiling when he plays it. So I'm just like, he's just such a good guy. Like I love him very much.
Thoughtful.
Yeah. And so watching his videos or watching his streams makes me want to go back and play, because I did put it down because I don't want to grow tired of the game. So like I haven't beaten it yet either. I've been trying to do all the quests, all the side quests, like everything and endings apart from beating the actual game. And so I've been doing a lot of these things. So like recently I watched him. He was exploring the depths in his latest video, and he defeated a Frox. And I was like, I want to do that. And so like I've been playing Zelda for the past like 3 days because I watched his video.
Nice.
And so that's just my inspiration is to relive and enjoy the Zelda series over and over and over again. And
that's
like,
really good.
Yeah, and so it's really, and I really do like again, like his playthroughs are really, really, really funny. He has this beef with the goats in the game.
I've shared the video with the goats. Very good.
It calls him Billy, and it's just so funny. But yeah, if anyone is interested in it, or definitely DB Geek, that's his whole gang. Definitely go check him out. I really love him. You might too. So.
Links in the show notes, gang. There always are.
Yeah,
for all the inspiration things we talk about. I mean, not our geodes. Like if we're talking about that, like you're not gonna go into the last week's episode and find a link to the Google Doc that I'm working on. Like, that's not there. But like
Yep. If we're talking about like other things, like
other things that can be shared. Also, sometimes our things are abstract concepts. And those are a little harder to link to and or drop in the Instagram story to save.
Yep.
I think we had one where we were just talking about like the catharsis of writing or the importance of having various like inputs and worldviews in our.
Yeah,
I couldn't really figure out how to share a thing to that in the Instagram story.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Mine is okay. So this past summer, a graphic novel came out called Danny Phantom: A Glitch in Time.
Ooh.
It is the first like Danny Phantom media we like canonical in the story. Well, it's canonical as you can get. We've gotten in ages. The Danny Phantom series ended in 2000. When did Phantom Planet end? Whatever. It was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
So that came out. I finally read it this past week because my friend Robert came to visit. Robert and I do a Kim Possible podcast together, which has been on hiatus through the writers and actor strikes as like solidarity and waiting for studios to like make good on these deals.
Yeah.
But we did record an episode talking about this graphic novel to drop on the Kim Possible podcast just because it feels like it works for the Kim Possible. Like if you were a Kim Possible kid, you were probably also watching Danny Phantom. You were watching American Dragon Jake Long.
Yeah.
You were watching Strange Tales of Juniper Lee. Like you were that kid.
Yeah.
So my spark of inspiration is not necessarily the graphic novel. Because I find it unendingly perplexing as to who it's supposed to be for. Because on one hand, it wasn't for me, the person who grew up watching Danny Phantom as a kid, because it was very much for 8 to 12, and the plot reflected that.
Yeah.
But then again, it also wasn't for kids who are 8 to 12 today, because like I said, Danny Phantom ended 15 years before this graphic novel came out.
Yeah.
And they introduce pretty big character lore plot stuff that they do not bother to explain to the reader.
Ooh.
So you definitely had to have been someone who watched the series and know the history of like Vlad Masters and Clockwork and Dark Danny and like those plots and Jazz and why does the parents know when Jazz knows and the parents know but they don't.
Yeah.
Because they don't explain that, which is fine. But then it just left me endlessly perplexed as to like, but who is it for?
Yeah.
Because
Who's the audience?
You didn't write a plot that was for me.
Yeah.
The adult who knows all this stuff. But you also didn't write something that the kids for this age group would have known unless they are watching Danny Phantom. And that's not to say there were no kids 8 to 12 who were watching Danny Phantom. But it's not like, I would say, Avatar that's had this recent massive resurgence with a lot of like kids being introduced it from like their parents or older family members when it like really popped off on Netflix.
Yeah.
So my actual spark of inspiration was the fun conversation I had with my friend Robert.
Oh, good.
In which we were breaking down what I did really like about the story and then the things I just felt like there were plot opportunities that could have been really like elevated and done really well, and they were very interesting that they were just left on the floor.
Yeah.
And this is not me knocking the artist author who did this. I don't know how much creative control they actually had over the work because it was published by Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes the most inspirational thing is talking about a piece of media that you and your friend didn't like very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not just trashing on it, exploring like that. We ended this recording with Robert asking me, Darien, what's one thing you would have changed about it?
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like that was this whole hour of me saying that. And they're like, yeah. But what's one thing you think would have made this much better?
Yeah.
And I had it and I reflected on that and I'm like, this. And if you want to hear that, go over to checkout. That's the Sitch, Kim Possible Watch Along podcast hosted by me and Robert Gamer.
Wonderful.
Luce,
Yes.
you did yours first.
I did.
Yes.
And then
I
you
forgot.
did.
And then
no,
I went.
you're good. That's all good.
So, here we go. Let's talk about A Song for the Road.
Yeah. It's definitely a song for the road.
It is. Brom sings a verse from an elf song. They agree to go by Neil and Evan to hide their identities.
Yep. That's pretty much.
I think my beef with this comes from the fact that they try to sing. I don't like singing in non-audio medium. I don't like it in books. I don't like it in comics. I think sometimes it can be done very well in a visual non-audio form.
Yeah.
When you lean into the notes moving around, the song, you can make the panels and the art and like
Very
the flowy, and you can make it like look like music feels.
Yeah.
But whenever I read a book and someone's like, all right, I'm going to sing for you. And you just make me read some verses. I'm just like, no. Don't make me do this.
Yeah, my eyes, like, and this is like, I'm like, this is why I couldn't read Lord of the Rings, because there's songs everywhere.
Yeah. Oh,
and
interesting. Are you saying something like this is also in Lord of the Rings? Lucy, something like this is also in Lord of the Rings?
That's going to come up heavily in this
is it?
chapter.
Is something there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Something about the song of the elves in the ocean?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. But it's my eyes just slide off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really unfortunate. Like, and a lot of for me, I'm like, it sucks because it's like, it's probably important. It's probably impactful.
I know.
There's
I'm like, is this
lore.
important?
Yeah. And so my eyes just skip it, and then they refer to it later. I'm like, shit, I have to go back and I have to read it again because I just kind of whoop. Yeah. So the song is difficult, and that's why I like listening to Audible.
Did they sing it?
They don't sing it. He chants it.
Okay.
Oh, liquid temptress, neath the azure sky, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually sing it, chants it. But like,
because it also says he doesn't sing it here. Brom chants softly.
Yep. And in the Lord of the Rings, the author or the narrator does sing it and does a really good job. I will like, I think Gerald Doyle, I think is his name. I feel like I mentioned it before. I always forget. But like, the narrator in The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit is just so good with the songs and does very, very good. What I wanted to talk about is I like Brom's description of the ocean.
Yeah.
The sea is emotion incarnate. It loves, hates, and weeps. It defies all attempts to capture it with words and rejects all shackles. No matter what you say about it, there is always that which you can't. Do you remember what I told you about the elves, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know why, but that, like, strikes me in a way.
That's good.
That's
the
so
sea.
good.
It's like, hey, Paulini, do you like... You're from Montana, a landlocked state. Do you also like the sea?
Yeah.
Because it reads like a man who really likes the sea, but lives in a landlocked state.
Yeah.
Surrounded by forests.
Yep. And it's so good. And I feel like, again, like he probably drew inspiration from Lord of the Rings with the elves coming across, and how the sound of crashing waves, the smell of salt air, it affects them deeply, them being elves, and has inspired many of their loveliest songs. And there's one that tells of this love, if you want to hear it, and then he tells him what it's like. And I think, like, if, like, Paolini does maybe visited ocean at one point and fell in love with it, and then maybe either...
Oh, no, I love the ocean.
Yeah.
I love the ocean. Here I was born in Texas, grew up here in landlocked Idaho. I love the ocean.
Mm-hmm. And, like, I feel like him falling in love with the ocean and then reading Lord of the Rings before or after he saw the ocean is just, like, I feel like he, like, resonated with that. He's like, oh, yeah, like, why wouldn't they love the ocean?
Yeah, the ocean's
absolutely.
incredible. Yeah.
And so, like, that. I have only seen the ocean once, and I was in Oregon when I saw it.
Not the same ocean.
Yeah.
That's not the ocean that we're singing of.
So
this is
like,
not the ocean.
Yeah.
That's an ocean.
Yeah.
For real. That's not the ocean that the elves are in love with.
Yeah. And, like, for me, again, like, I haven't very traveled much and not going too much into it. Just don't have a lot of money to travel a lot. It's very expensive to do that, especially now. So it's like I've never really seen it. And so it's never really pulled me that way. I'm just like, yeah, it's a big thing of water and it's scary because we know very, 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 very little about it.
Yeah, don't think about it too much.
So, but I just love this about it.
I did clarify. I'm not knocking the Oregon coast.
Oh,
the Oregon coast is great. It's just like that's not the ocean that the elves crossed and came on. Like, you ocean people, you know what the ocean is.
Yeah.
And that is, like, it's hard to explain. But I guess I'm like, no, I'm talking beach ocean. I'm talking you live by the island. I'm talking like coastal towns where people come in and out. Like, it's different.
Absolutely. And it's also, like, I will say, granted, again, my experience with the ocean is we were at the Oregon coast for a week. 2 of those days were nice days. The rest of it was rainy, cloudy, gray, dull. So it's like my experience was like, and that was like back when I was in elementary school. So that was like 20 years. Oh, wow.
Don't think about it too much, Liz. Don't think about it too much, Liz.
That was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. At least.
Woof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't think about it too much, Liz.
I'm old. Anyway.
So, okay, here's the thing I'll have to admit right now. because so Braum talks about how he's like, okay, here's the song of the elves. He has to translate it from the ancient language.
Yep.
And he also he recites it, and then he clarifies that there's much more to the song, the Du Silbena Data. I've only recited one of its verses. It is a sad tale of two lovers, Akalm and Nuadia, who are separated by longing for the sea. The elves find great meaning in this story. And we get some elf lore.
Yep.
Came from across the sea. We know that. They love the ocean.
Yep.
And they have like epic poems.
Yep.
And also like this, I'm like, here's a thing that's like describing the sea, but it's about these like other like an elven love story.
Yeah.
So actually, I would have far less disdain if this wasn't supposed to be a song, but if it was a poem or a story.
Recited like Beowulf.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that just clicked in my head.
But that's exactly it.
Like an epic.
It's an epic. I think when you describe it like, oh, it's a poem. So I don't know. I think I'm having just my general disdain for like, I don't like it when books try to sing to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing this with you. But that's not necessarily what like there are like poems like Beowulf or Gilgamesh or the Iliad that are that it sounds like what this poem is supposed to be, but they can be sung.
Mm-hmm.
But not always. I don't know. A Song for the Road is a lovely name for the chapter.
Yeah.
But I think I have to admit that there's actually not necessarily anything wrong with the text or the bringing it up or what it does.
Yeah.
It's just also, don't ask me a single line of it because I skimmed right over all that italics and didn't even try to read it.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was framed as a story, I probably would have read
it a little more. Yeah.
Because I'm just used to like, this is, I don't know. So that's on me. I will admit that that's my own disinterest.
Yeah.
And not actually a bad thing about the book or whether or not a narrative should have a song in it.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I highlighted here is Eragon was glad to be near the mountains again. They placed comforting boundaries on the world. And I'm like, yep, relatable. Like we were talking about
the mountains
a couple chapters ago where he's like, okay, we're out of the flat area. Thank God. Now I'm in this. And I do like how something that I struggle with in my writing is the passage of time, because I don't want to be like, we're doing this thing and the next thing we're doing this thing. But I think Paulini does a really good job. Days pass quickly as they continue to trek along the spine, searching for the mountain pass, which they need, the main road between the capital Urbane and Terim. It's widely used and favored route to merchants. We have to be more cautious because it's busy, so they have to continue to avoid
people. Sephira, yeah.
Yep. And also just like the kind of foreboding from last chapter is if the Razak have told Galbatorix about Eragon, there's going to be posters and wanting all over.
Yeah, at the very least they'll know the name Eragon.
Eragon, absolutely. So it's like we just have to be a little more careful now.
Eragon starts learning he's still learning the language and learning how to care for Sephira, practicing magic. He also learns how to go hunting with magic.
Yep.
He can hold a small rock in his hand and shoot it at his prey. It was impossible to miss.
I love that.
I'm like, this is when the archery stops.
Yep, magic takes over.
And then we just have the sword.
The sword and the magics.
Yeah, which is great. And I love the use of this practical use of magic.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, why not use it for that?
Because it's like, it's not only he probably saves arrows and making arrows and all these things, but it's also like it's teaching him how to control his magic and
get stronger with it.
Absolutely. So it's control over magic of like how much to use like inside, but also control as in sending the rock out, like physical control and mental control, both. So very good.
We get a lot of names of things
in
this next one, and it's fine.
I really like so it's like one thing is like we learn Eragon is changing his body is just with all the training.
He's getting stronger.
He's getting a lot stronger. I like how all of his this is something that is changed, I think, from the audio to the book. It's Eragon's body of excess fat was like stripped away. I think in the audio they say baby fat. His baby fat's just gone.
Yeah. It says excess fat in my thing too.
Yep.
His arms became corded, and his tan skin rippled with lean muscles.
And everything about me is turning hard, which is like,
he thought dryly.
Yeah, his emotions, like what he's been through is But what I really like
Eragon,
is like
you need more friends.
he does. He really does. Oh my god.
We need to get some more characters in this.
Absolutely.
You need to interact with more people, my guy, for your mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like the torque, the river. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, something that I struggle with is creating mountains and rivers, and I'm like, there obviously does that, but I'm like, oh yeah, there's a mountain over here and this river here. I should probably give it a name. It would probably have a name.
Yeah.
Oh no, like, and it's a lot. But I do really like how he's like, oh, we'll have to follow the torque and follow it all the way to the sea, and Eragon's like, no, because it flows out of the spine in this direction. It won't end up in the ocean unless it double back on itself. And he goes, haha, in the middle of the mountains, there is Wodark Lake. I think that's how you say that.
Mm-hmm.
A river flows from each end of it. Both are called the Torok, which I find bad name calling for the people, not Paulini.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, it should have been like the North Torok and the South Torok or
Yeah.
something. But I'm like, I digress. We see the eastward one now, and it runs south, and the winds through the brush until it joins Lennon Lake. And the other one goes to the sea. And I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah, I actually like that. I actually, honestly, when I just said the name thing, but when I was actually reading it, I found it less annoying.
Yeah.
Because I think I found it geographically interesting.
Yeah.
Of the river and the lake and moving to the sea. I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
Rather than just and these mountains are called this and the sword is called this. And I'm like, I don't care. But actually, I don't know. Listen, these complaints are not me saying it is bad, don't do it. It is just me saying I like or I don't like.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
That's my podcast, and I get to say I like or I don't like.
Absolutely. And I feel like it does combine these two things in a way that is pleasing, because it combines whimsical, but also like, because I think we both very much like landscape, and we like the description of landscape.
Yes.
And because I mean, like, we went on and on. I feel like we went on and on when it was like one of the first episodes we did where Eragon comes up and sees Carvajal Valley.
Yes.
And we were like, yes,
love the valley.
Yes, absolutely.
Listen, it's not the named geography that I don't care for. It's that when the geography has a name, that just has me going like, okay. Whatever.
Absolutely. No, but
also Brom knowing the names of things is, I think, interesting for his character, and it's bothering me less and less, maybe because I'm just getting used to it. I'm just getting numb to it. It's like a Stockholm syndrome thing. Or it is like, it's like, I think something you mentioned episodes ago about how Brom knowing the names of these things in these places are indicators of his like wealth of knowledge, and not just like, I read this in books, but like, you've been here before. Absolutely. Know these things.
And then they finally, after 2 days in the spine, they come up upon a rock ledge from which they could see clearly out of the mountains. And Eragon noticed the land, how it flattens in the distance, and Brom kind of like, and he groaned at the leagues they still have to traverse. It's like, yeah, dude, like, you got a lot of walking to do. This isn't the age of cars and airplanes and stuff. Sorry, dude. But then he talks about how down there and to the north lies Terim. It's an old city. Some say it's where the elves first landed in Alagasia. Its citadel has never fallen, nor have its warriors ever been defeated, which I find super cool. And also just
I like just the
again,
sprinkling of history.
The sprinkling of history is just so good. And it's also like, he is also being like, the elves, which you are basically now connected with because you now have their lineage of them coming to the Alagasia, and then the whole Dragon War, and then the first riders.
And then we talk about the elves crossing the ocean earlier in the chapter, so it does feel like really connecting these two things.
Yep. And then I don't know why I highlighted this. It talks about maybe I did, because then he's like, as they go into beyond the forest, because they walking, the countryside covered itself in soft turf and heather, and their feet sank into it. Moss clung to every stone and branch and lined the streams that laced the ground. And I think like for that, it's I think I highlighted it because why is everything green? Don't they have winter here? And it's Eragon is again experiencing a landscape, an area that he is not used to. He is used to mountains, which is kind of colder, heavy winters, things like that. And now he is going into stuff where moss is, and it's just warm all the time. Yeah. And like they are in winter, like this is winter, this is their winter, and everything is still super green.
So being an ocean, being so close to the sea will do that.
And
I do like that. And then there's not much left to it. They agree that Eragon's gonna ride the horse until they reach there, so Saphira will have to stay out of sight. And then they won't use their names. We won't be able to deceive Jihad. He already knows my name, and I think I trust him with yours. But to everyone else, I will be Neil, and you will be my nephew. If our tongues slip and give us away, it probably won't make a difference. But I don't want our names in anyone's heads. People have an annoying habit of remembering things they shouldn't.
Yep. And I will say, like, his friend's name in the book, he calls him Jode.
Jode makes more sense.
Yeah. I was like, however
Jode is
you say
probably,
it.
yeah.
Jode.
And that's really the end of the chapter.
Yep.
Then A Taste of Terim is a little bit longer, but also pretty light.
Yeah, it's a lot happens. It's a lot of explaining of the city, which I find not boring. So it's like not a
boring,
lot happens,
but it doesn't feel necessary.
Yeah. It's nice because I think it's what it's described, because like we've read the next couple of chapters, and this also kind of gives like a feel of it, is like they're going in and we're giving this really good in-depth description of Terim, and it's like, are they going to stay here for a while?
Yeah.
It is kind of setting up the whole like, we're going to be hanging in this area for a while.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, they describe like this, it's like a citadel, has like a massive fortress, and the only thing you can see is like a castle.
Yeah.
And Eragon, can we read Saphira and Eragon's conversation?
Yes.
You should land somewhere now and hide. We're going in.
Sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. Again.
I know, but Brahm and I do have some advantages most people don't. We'll be all right.
If anything happens, I'm going to pin you to my back and never let you off.
I love you too.
Then I will bind you all the tighter.
This is the first time Eragon has told Saphira that he loves her?
Yeah. Or at least that we are aware
yeah,
of.
like
Yeah.
it's probably not, but it's the first time we've gotten to hear it explicitly. And she's like, I'm gonna tie you up and never let you go. I love you too. Never let you go.
I do very much is like, shut up. Like, I love you too, but that's not the point here.
Yeah.
No, I've highlighted their conversation too, because it's heartwarming.
Yeah,
really
I just liked
really nice.
it.
Yep.
And she's like, and Aaron's like, I know, but we got it. It's gonna be okay. And she's like,
Mm-mm. Don't like.
He's like, I love you. Okay, well then that's all the more reason for me not to let you go places. This is ridiculous.
Yep.
But I love you too. Shut up. Like, it's
Absolutely
good. Big old city. I love that Eragon's like, how big is this place? Larger than any city you've ever seen. Shut the fuck up, Rom.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Shut up, Rom.
I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
I also like on the next page, at least for me, just like we're talking about like larger than a city that you've ever seen. Later he goes, I've never seen a city planned like this. It's like, Eragon, you haven't seen a city?
Also, you were complaining about Darren's Ford
Yeah.
being all weirdly planned out.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, I'm just, because he's seen towns and he's seen villages. I've never seen a city planned like this.
yeah.
You haven't seen a city, period, Eragon.
Yeah. But to be fair, the description, it is a distinct layout. So like
Yeah.
all the houses nearest the wall are very low.
Yeah.
And as they get farther back, the buildings get taller and taller and taller.
Yep.
And so Brahm explains it's like literally for defense. It's so archers farther back can shoot over the wall and not
which
hit.
is actually really cool.
Yeah. And they mentioned it was done after it was almost burnt to the ground.
Yep.
Which kind of doubles back on the whole, like, didn't you say the warriors had never been defeated?
Maybe it was burnt.
Listen, they survived.
Yeah.
It's still here. This is not a Troy situation.
Yeah.
The city is still
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely. I do like on their way into the city.
Oh my gosh,
I know
yes.
I jumped ahead.
Yeah.
Is
I was about to double back too because it's very funny.
Brahm being, I'm called Neil.
Who's the other one?
Well, I was getting to that. This is my, it's so hard for me to read.
Accent.
This would be my nephew, Evan. He's my sister's boy, not a...
Yeah. What's your business here?
He's visiting an old friend, supplied Eragon. I love that he just, like, gets in there.
And
he's
is
like,
in the accent.
Yep. I'm along to make sure he doesn't get lost. If you know, if you get my meaning, he ain't as young as he used to be. Had a bit too much of sun when he was younger. Touch of the brain fever, you know.
Brahm bobbed his head pleasantly.
Just,
Then they get in, touch of the brain fever, huh?
I couldn't let you have all the fun.
Because you could tell when he's like, oh, he's my sister's boy, and you could tell he was probably going to say something about you. He's not the brightest lad.
Yeah.
And Eragon's like, no, we've done this before. You have brain fever.
You have brain fever. I'm
Yes,
gonna
and.
get on this. Yes, and exactly. And Brahm can't deny that, so he's just like, yep, yep.
Yeah, I did like
so
that.
Good.
They get into the city. They find a tavern called the Green Chestnut.
I really like that. That's so good. Tavern names, I'm like, they're either really good or not great.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I feel very good.
Mm-hmm. The way Brahms is like, oh, the green chestnut. Wonderful. I'm like, is this a crass joke we're just not getting?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's been, like, I read it as, like, he's been here before, and he's like, oh, great.
Maybe.
I forgot this place.
Because it's pretty dingy. Eragon describes it as unsafe, sullen, pretty empty. Brahm asks the bartender, like, hey, do you know Jode?
Jode, yeah.
Jode. He the bartender tries to hustle him, like, oh, maybe I can be persuaded to dig into my memory.
Yeah.
So Brahm almost hands on quite a few coins, and another guy's like, Gareth, what in the blazes do you think you're doing? Anyone on the street could tell him where Jode lives. What are you charging him for?
And he gets all mad.
Swept the coins back into his purse. And they go over and talk to this dude. His name is Martin. Very nice guy. Big fan of Martin.
Yeah, really big fan of Martin. And he gives them a lot of info.
He reminds me a lot of Trevor back in Duat.
Oh, yeah.
Who's just a nice guy.
Just a really nice
and gives
dude.
him a lot of valuable information.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thanks for the lore drop, Martin.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Things are... This is especially interesting because Trevor told us about, like, oh, Urgle's attack and stuff and things aren't great. And so he establishes that they don't have to deal with Urgles, but not a lot of ships. There are ships that are being attacked, but they seem to be specific ships. It's not just piracy, because pirates will attack whatever ship. It's only merchant ships and only certain merchant ships. Like, unfortunately, Jode's.
Jode's one of them.
So he's having trouble.
And I also like, just real quick, I'm backtracking just a little bit.
No, you're good.
I do like that Martin isn't like, oh, Gareth, he's just an asshole. And da-da. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, I can't blame him. Business has been tough. And then he goes on to, he just lost a ship. And then that kind of goes into things. So I do like there's some kind of like, he's like, I know he's being a dick right now, but you can't really blame him.
Yeah, like his bar is empty.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of rough right now. And I highlighted his whole explanation of like what you were saying, like the usual piracy, but it's not. It's just certain merchant ships, and it's just merchant ships that are being attacked. Especially because some of them run the largest shipping business in the empire. They're being forced to sell goods by land. It's driven costs painfully high, and their caravans don't always make it because Urgles are roaming.
Yeah, things are bad.
Land.
And they don't know what's doing this. No one survives the attack.
Yep.
Ships go out, then they disappear. They're never seen again.
Yep.
The sailors are saying that it's magic.
I do like, doesn't he like kind of lean in and think they're magic, and he winks.
It's like, he's like, Brahm's like, what do you think? I don't know, and I don't think I will unless I'm unfortunate enough to be captured on one of those ships.
Yep.
We found out he's not a sailor, but he's security. Like, captains will hire him to defend it.
What's the word? Mercenary.
Yeah,
kind of like a merc for
kind
hire.
of a mercenary.
Like not like a bad dude, but just a sword for hire.
Yeah, basically that.
Yeah. Security. You were right on that. Sorry, I was like,
no,
hold on.
No, yeah, you're good. And that's it. But he does let him know that, like, right at the top of the conversation, like, he tells him straight up, Jode lives on the west side of town, next to Angela the herbalist. Do you have business with him? Sort of. Well, he won't be interested in buying anything. He just lost another one of his ships a few days ago. So we know, they've already let him know, like, yeah, this is where we're going to find Jode. What is it?
Jode.
And that's it. They're like, they chat with Martin a little bit. They head out to like the really like fine, clearly wealthy side of the city.
Yep.
And it ends with this line, Eragon felt conspicuous and out of place.
And that honestly makes sense because it's like if they're going towards the richer part of town and they've been traveling for days, weeks, and they went through that storm and they haven't changed from that storm. So they're probably looking real rough.
Real rough. Yep, we got some rough boys.
And they had like walking through, like just talking about the scenery, they walked through all that mud and they were just spattered with mud. Like they're rough.
And also like Eragon has never seen a city this big. It was a poor farm boy who grew up in a pretty like Carvahal's not a wealthy place.
Yeah.
Like we know characters, they're like Sloane and H the butcher, not the butcher. Horse, the blacksmith.
Yes.
Who were well off from their trades, but nothing like what he was walking into in this like rich district of this massive trade merchant town.
It's what they're well off in the village, and this is like literally like what it's like. It's the difference between well off and wealth. Yes, absolutely.
That is it, Luce. What is your writing takeaway from this chapter?
Let me think. Do you have one?
Yeah. if you want to put a song, put a song. Like, fine.
Yeah.
That's me apologizing to the book, I guess, for being hard on it for the song, the poem earlier. If you want to put a song in your book, put a song in your book. Like, fine. Follow your bliss.
Yeah. I also think, like, something that I struggle with that I think Paulini does really good is describing, like, town or lore in a way that doesn't, I feel like we've talked about this, describing towns or lore that feels very much like the author is explaining to the reader rather than the characters interacting with it.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I struggle with. But I do think, like, not once was I listening to this and being like, oh my God, can we please move on? And I was like, nope. And then the city looks like this and the lore is this and like this. It's like, it's enthralling. So I would say, like, find a way that you can describe things that doesn't feel so listy or boring, for lack of a better word. I don't, like, again, like, that's something that I struggle with, and I think, like, maybe, like, one of the best ways to do that is really engulf your character in whatever place they're in or super interested in
make it feel like them learning it, not you, the reader, learning it.
That can be hard because especially if your character's been in the world and has, like, maybe seen things like this, that can be hard. That's, like, something that I struggle with. My main character is, like, she's been
part
around
of the world. She's not the fish out of, she's not even Eragon.
And that's the thing, like, there's Eragon is unique in that sense where he's never lived. So of course he's got his freaking head is on a swivel. He's like, ooh, what's this? What's that?
And that's Eragon as a character who wants to know.
Absolutely. So it's just like, do this. And also, like, just if you want your city to be really cool, like, lean into that. Like, I actually, like, I just thought about this, like, how is it Terim? They're in Terim. Yeah, Terim. Yeah. How Terim is set up is, like, really interesting. It's like, lean into that.
Yeah, that is cool, especially because it does seem it got more description than, like, Theron's Ford, which is just weird, or Darret.
Duat.
I
think it was Duat.
Maybe it's Duat. Which we didn't get a lot of because we didn't spend any time there, really. It was just kind of a passing through clock. This one got a lot more, I think, because, as you said, Luce, it feels like we're going to be hanging out here for a bit.
Absolutely. And that's, like, because, like, with me is, like, I'm going to try to keep this very short. In one of the castle towns that I described is there's humans and then what I call, like, ghouls and gargoyles that are living all together. But the town is made to where winged individuals can land. So the town is zigzag up to the castle, and on the edge of every, like, zig or with the end of it is a platform that is open to where they can land, and there are ladders and bridges that go up and down so people don't have to go down. And
cool.
So it's I mean, maybe that's it. If you find, like, if you have a town, like, there can be, like, you know, not usual towns, but, like, if you want to make your city unique and looking different, step out of the norm. Like, don't feel like you have to make it look like any other city that's ever been written or ever been seen. Like, if you want to step out, do it.
Yeah. I would say I would also be like, I think I would be annoyed if, like, every town we went to had this much.
Kind of, yes.
I'd be like, I don't care. We're not even, you're just, like, making the world feel real. Yeah, but, like, if I'm in, like, vacationing in New York, I'm looking at everything. I'm going to spend a lot of time here, and it's, like, interesting or remarkable where I'm at for a long time. But if I was, like, passing through Chicago, maybe I'd clock what I saw, but it wouldn't be this wrong because I didn't spend a lot of time there. So it's almost like, make sure, like, if you're going to do that, almost, like, make it equal to its role in the plot.
Yeah,
if the town where we're picking up supplies, don't waste your super cool town description when they're just going to pick up supplies and leave.
Absolutely.
Save it.
Absolutely.
Save it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm digging through our Instagram. We got a lot of people who hit us up in the last month or so.
Absolutely.
I want to shout out Iz, who reached out and just told us, like, you know, the inherent cycles with them got them reading fantasy in middle school. And I, like, love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And they answered what's one of their favorite heroic scenes. And makes her cry. Gotta say, it's Borom's last stand and death protecting Merry and Pip from the Urukai. The entire fight sequence and his death following has always stuck out to me. Is what a hero is and should be, and it's a scene that never fails to make me bawl my eyes out, even just thinking about it.
Yep.
Yeah, Boromir. I like Boromir.
Yeah.
And I think it's so, and I think the actor did such a good job demonstrating like it's the ring that corrupted him, and then he like turned on Frodo, and then after he's broken he feels so like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that, I can't believe I did that. And he tries so hard to protect Merry and Pippin, and when he dies and he's like telling Aragorn what he did, and he's so ashamed, he's not going to have a secret, he's going to be honest, and you know, makes me sad when he's not included in art of the Fellowship together. Like, yeah, he was only in the first movie, but like he was only the first movie that they were all traveling together. So whenever there's like art of them traveling together and Boromir's not there, like it makes me a little sad because I don't think he deserves to be erased from that level of like heroship.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
and
thanks,
he does like, and that's something that I think Eragon even addresses in the book at some point, where it's like Boromir makes up for his mistake for the action that he took in his attempt to save Merry and Pippin. Something along those lines. I can't remember exactly, but I think that is brought up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just like thinking like Phantom, like, no, we should love it. Shout out to Catherine. Eragon books got me into reading when I was younger, and I've been waiting for someone to do a breakdown podcast of the books. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Very excited.
They answered the question of favorite magic system. I believe it all started with the Jedi for me, the Force. I feel like it would be considered a soft magic system. Absolutely. But I love the fact that it's such mental power, how you have to have complete control over yourself and your mind to wield it if you're lucky to be one of the few who is strong with it.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Force is... Listen, they're space wizards. Yes. It's what I always say. They're so space wizards. This is not sci-fi. This is fantasy with planets.
Yep. I love it. That was like, that struck me really good. I really did. I was like, the Force. I'm like, hell yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
And then I'm just like, dear Curtis, always the one who's going to hit us up after.
So good. Yeah.
I believe, did we shout out the fact that they, one of their books, something they've written recently?
I think we did. We did touch that. Yep. Okay. Did we talk about, they did post their favorite magic system. Did we read that one?
No, that one they sent. I'm scrolling through to be like, what did we? When's the last time we chatted?
Right.
Was it before or after we recorded last? Favorite magic system. The methods to summon spirits in the Bartimaeus series. Magicians have to study art so they can make the correct symbols, ancient languages to pronounce the summoning and instructions right, and learn the names and classes of spirits so they can summon them. If they mess up any of those things, all the spirits they summon can and will eat them, which most of them have it coming.
Oof.
Yeah, and the way they described, like, I like it because it's hard enough that it can be predictable consequences for messing up, but soft enough that the plot doesn't just become a math problem where you have to figure out who's brought more mana points to the fight.
Yep.
That's such, like, I think that's such exact thing that I was like trying to like. I think, the whole who brought more mana points to the fight is what makes me annoyed with hard magic systems.
Yeah.
Where it becomes, and whereas it's like, I think that's a great balance where it's a hard magic system where here are the strict rules, but never to the point where it's just like, okay, I got to do the math to see who is like the stronger wizard. It can still be creative and interesting.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Also, they hit us up a little later being like, I just remembered the Abhorsen series where it's based off of musical tones and they have to use bells to put the dead back in their graves. This is a spoiler. It's like in the second chapter.
I do like that. That's very cool.
Oh, no. Here's what I was talking about. Yes, that's very cool. But Curtis hit us up a couple weeks back. My geode this week is getting shortlisted for this contest I entered a few months ago. So that's what it was. They told us about the magazine one.
Yeah.
The thing they had published. But the geode was the getting shortlisted in the contest specifically.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Curtis. That's awesome. Yes. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. That's super cool.
Mm-hmm. I think Thistlefoot by Jenna Rose Nethercott does a great job of dealing with all the characters' emotions throughout the book. But the way she does their self-doubting feelings feels incredibly genuine to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that self-doubt. That's like, I think the best when a character's emotions are the best is when you feel almost uncomfortable being there. Because you're like, no, too real.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Lucy, what should we have the listeners do this week? What homework do we assign?
I want to say, like, kind of leaning into the town. What was the most interesting, like, town build, town setup that you've ever read or seen? Like, I know there's a lot of visually cool cities and stuff. So, yeah, if there's a city that you really like the setup or that really sticks out in your mind, let us know.
I like the City of Bones from Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter series.
Yeah.
This is an underground city where the, like, spooky record keepers of this universe
Ooh, very
basically
good.
live. And it is built off of, like, the ashes of deceased Shadowhunters. Like, Shadowhunters die and they are burned. Like, that is the funeral rites. And then their ashes are collected and turned into the material that they build this city with. So it's, like, not actually built of bones. There aren't skulls everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's built from their ashes.
Yeah.
And
That's actually
very
cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, let us know your favorite cities. As always, you can hit us up on Instagram, or if you listen on Spotify, the question's there too. So if you don't want to jump over to Instagram, you can drop us the answer on Spotify.
Absolutely.
And until next time, she's Lucy Hart.
And she's Darien Smart.
And this is Eragon.
And back again.